Dave, we're here at an addressable television conference, and we're talking a lot about the technology behind addressability. And so far, on the two large platforms that have been deployed with INVIDI technology, we've been using the DVR as one of the main pieces of equipment that enable addressability. But I hear there is a technical solution beyond that called satellite switching. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So the DVR remains the primary methodology for targeting ads via satellite because you have this ability to store a significant number of ads on the DVR hard drive and seamlessly switch the ads into the commercial opportunity. But in the United States, for example, we have 60% DVR penetration, which suggests that 40% of the market currently goes unserved. Around the rest of the world, though, it's even more dramatic. So for example, if you look in South America, where DirecTV has 25 million subscribers, their market is maybe 5 to 7% DVR penetration. So you have upwards of 18 to 20 million homes for which you're unable to provide targeted television advertising. Similarly, around the world, where satellite is the dominant distribution platform, that same phenomena exists where the penetration of DVRs is very low. For example, in Thailand or in India or throughout Asia, we see this same scenario where the DVR penetration is below 10% of the homes that have been deployed. So up until recently, the ability to target ads to those homes was very difficult because there was no way to switch the commercial into the feed. Well, another phenomena that just happened to coincide with this has been the launch of low orbit satellites. So the TV satellites that we think of are in the geostationary arc, meaning that they're above the Earth's surface and rotate with the Earth in such a way that they don't have to be propelled or repositioned. They just basically are there all the time. And up until recently, the bandwidth on those satellites was in very high demand and very, very expensive. But with the advent of low orbit satellites, we now are seeing things like maritime, marine, boat satellite communication, and banking, and oil exploration, and all these other categories moving to low orbit satellites. And for the first time ever, there's an abundance of geostationary transponder space. So INVIDI, trying to remain on the cusp of TV targeting, came up with the idea of switching the ads on some of these transponders that are now not being used at all, and switching ads into broadcast TV feeds. So in markets in South America, where there may be only one or two main broadcasters that represent, say, 80% of the broadcast TV advertising in a market, we can position 8 to 10 ad feeder channels adjacent to that broadcast TV feed and have a very robust targeting capability, much like we have here. And so it's very much akin to what we do in the cable set-top box of tuning the cable box to the commercial. Here we're going to tune the satellite transponder to the right commercial. And so we have that tuning mechanism working right now, and we're pretty excited about it for an application all across the world.
Well, you really have highlighted how complex addressable advertising can be and that it is a bit like rocket science. But if you could just give me a prediction with this new piece of technology added to the addressable equation, how will that increase the penetration of what today we classify the US population in about 52 million households are addressable? With this, how many more households are we going to add, let's say, in the next 2 years?
Well, I can't really predict the US space at this particular time. That will really rely on DISH and DirecTV's ability to look at that and determine whether this is applicable in the marketplace or not. If it was able to be launched in North America, it would be a great caveat to introducing national addressability, because today we insert ads on 125 channels, and there's simply not enough bandwidth to do satellite switching effectively on 125 channels. But if you were to, say, target the 4 or 5 large broadcast networks, as we go to a national footprint for addressability, this may be the ability to get to another 25 or 30 million homes. So again, in North America, it'll be limited to just the large channels. opposed to the large suite of channels that we have today. But all throughout the rest of the world, this is a great methodology to be able to go after the bulk of the marketplace.
So it'll increase global addressable capabilities, but it will also increase the amount of supply that's available in the United States, or at least it has the potential to increase the amount of supply of addressable ads in the United States.
It does, but again, we have to be very careful to look at what transponder capacity might look like in North America, but in the rest of the world, this phenomena of low orbit satellites relieving some of the pressure on the geostationary satellites from a distribution perspective is significant, and it is our ticket into China, Asia, India, Australia, and other parts of the world, Europe, where satellite penetration is by far the dominant distribution methodology, South America as well.
Excellent.